Hello and welcome again to Fox Comics and Games in beautiful downtown Marion, Illinois. Although I guess more accurately Fox Comics and Sports Cards, because we have moved the store back in with our sports card shop. We start off this week. These comics are for July 18th, 2018 is when they'll go on sale. We start off this week with Action Lab, The Aberrant, Issue 2. Got several people reading that in the store, and they seem to be enjoying it. Next up from Image Publishing, we have Aphrodite, Issue 1. Then from Archie Comics, oddly enough, we have Archie meets Batman 66, Holy Comic crossover event. And next up from Marvel, we have Issue 5 of The Avengers. And then from DC, we have issue 51 of Batman. And beautiful variant, as DC has been doing here recently. One of them that finished in our top 5 of best covers of the week. Next up, also from DC, we have issue 6 of Batman, Sins of the Father. Then next up from DC, and also one of our top 5 covers of the week, was Batwoman, issue 17. It's just gorgeous with all the gears dropping from behind her cape. And then the winner of our cover of the week, just because it's so fun and so cool, is the variant cover for Batwoman 17. And so that is really a nice image, and so there you are. Another of our top 5 finishers for cover of the week, though, was DC's Brave and the Bold, issue 6, which is the last, sadly, the last one of that run. But that's been a very good series. Something to look for in your local shop if you haven't picked it up yet. Next up from Boombox Comics, we have By Night, issue 2. Then from Marvel, we have issue 159 of Cable. I use satellite myself, but some people still use cable. Next up from Image, we have issue 4 of Crude, which Mr. Fox has been accused of being. Then from DC, we have issue 7 of Damage, which Mr. Fox has been accused of being. And then next up from Aftershock Comics, who've really come on strong recently, Dark Arc, issue 7. And then from Image Publishing, something that if you're not reading, there's something wrong with you. East of West, issue 38. Jonathan Hickman, kick your butt. It'll just kick your butt. It's that good. Next up from Dark Horse, we have Matt Kent's Ether and the Copper Golems. And then from Image Publishing, we have issue 5 of Gideon Falls. What's the deal with that black barn? We're all wanting to know. Then from DC, we have issue 51 of Green Lanterns. And a beautiful variant cover for issue 51 of Green Lanterns. Then next up, also from DC, we have issue 46 of Harley Quinn. Looks like Apocalypse is going to be making an appearance. And again, in our top 5 covers of the week, issue 46 of Harley Quinn, that variant cover. Another finisher in our top 5 covers of the week, Hunt for Wolverine, The Claws of a Killer. Pretty wicked looking. Next up, highly anticipated, sells very well in our store, from Image Publishing, Ice Cream Man, number 5. And then from Marvel, we have The Immortal Hulk, issue 3. From Image Publishing, we have issue 5 of Infidel, which Mr. Fox has been accused of being. And then next up from Marvel, we have issue 5 of Infinity Countdown. Then from DC, we have Injustice 2, issue 30. And also from DC, we have issue 1 of Injustice versus Masters of the Universe. And then from Oni Press, we have issue 32 of Invader Zim. Not in the top 5 best covers of the week. Next up, we have from DC, very highly anticipated, very good book going. If you're not reading the new Justice League, jump in. It's a great time to get in. You're only 3 behind, and they're great reads. Scott Snyder's Justice League issue 4, fantastic run. This is runner-up to our cover of the week. Justice League 4 variant, Wonder Woman, just looking fantastic. Great job, DC. Keep it up with the variant issues you're doing so well with. Next up from Image Publishing, issue 6 of Kick Butt. That's to make it kid-friendly. Don't want to say kick ass in front of the kids, so I'll say Kick Butt. Okay, next up from Marvel, another highly anticipated book. A lot of people have been waiting for this one to come out for a while now. The Life of Captain Marvel. And then this is one of the beautiful variants, also in the top 5 best covers. That variant cover, as was this variant cover for The Life of Captain Marvel. So Marvel did a very good job on those. Next up from Aftershock Comics, we have The Lost City Explorers, issue 2. Then from Image Publishing and Mark Millar, we have The Magic Order, issue 2. Very good book. Very much enjoyed here in our store. People are loving it, loving it, loving it. As they are, speaking of loving it, Boom Studios has been crushing, and I say this in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is after my time, but I will tell you that all of my readers are just digging this Shattered Grid run that they're on right now. They have spent a lot of money, great writing, big concept, great story. So a good time to be reading Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And that is issue 29 of that. And here is what one of the variants looks like. Very, very pretty. Which Mr. Fox has been accused of being very pretty. Next up from DC, we have issue 3 of the new Challengers. And then from Valiant Publishing, we have issue 9 of Ninjak or Ninja K. Marvel brings us issue 7 of Old Man Hawkeye. And Marvel also brings us issue 307 of Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. And the best part about this issue is it clears up all the unanswered questions from the 306 previous versions of this comic. So this one's really a key issue, even though they don't advertise it as such. Important that you all buy it. Next up from Valiant, we have issue 8 of Quantum and Woody. And Mr. Fox has been accused of having a Woody. And next up from Marvel, we have issue 11 of Runaways, which my cameraman is threatening to do right about now. Then next up from Valiant Publishing, which if you're not reading Valiant, there's something wrong with you. Shadow Man, issue 5. And if you look closely at the window above Fox Sports Cards and Comics in Marion, Illinois, you will see Shadow Man peering out over the square at Marion. Just a little spoiler, a little heads up, if you look in our top window. Next up from Marvel, we have Spider-Gwen, issue 34. And this may be the practice cover because some of that art looks a little unfinished, but maybe they're still working on that. Next up from Marvel, we have Spider-Man versus Deadpool, issue 36. And again, that clears up all the unanswered questions for the previous 35 issues of that. Next up from IDW, Star Trek The Next Generation, Terra Incognita. That's right. Then, in a derivative sort of fashion, from Marvel, we have Star Wars issue 51. Kind of derivative, just saying. Next up from Marvel, we have Star Wars Darth Vader Annual number 2. That accommodates all the story that they couldn't fit in the first annual from this year. Next up from Marvel, we have issue 29 of Star Wars, Poe Dameron. He can't help being Poe, he just can't find a job. Next up from Image, we have issue 2 of Stellar. Next up from Marvel, and also a great cover, issue 3 of Thor. And in the top 5 best covers finishing this week is the Carol Danvers variant for Thor. That is just gorgeous. Well done, Marvel. Next up from IDW, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue 24. And then from Marvel, next up we have Tony Stark, Iron Man. That's to clear up all the confusion in case you're thinking Iron Man is somebody other than Tony Stark. This issue is just for Tony Stark. Then next up from Image, we have issue 5 of Versus. That almost made it to our top 5 best covers. Then from Marvel, we have issue 5 of Weapon H. DC brings us issue 15 of Wildstorm, a good run being done by Warren Ellis. Really, really solid. Then from Boom Studios, we have WWE issue 19. Marvel brings us issue 32 of X-Men Gold. And then in case we're not paying attention, they bring us issue 6 of X-Men Red. And I think other than some Zombie Tramp, and then we got a bunch of Marvel and DC specially priced hardcovers that have come in. There are things that are going to be 50% off or less, and they're all brand new, still in shrink wrap. So an excellent time to come down and visit Fox's in our new location, upstairs in the sports card shop in beautiful downtown Marion, Illinois. Hope to see you here.